Ozzy Osbourne. The name alone sends chills down the spine of rock fans everywhere. A voice that defined generations. A legend who lived louder, loved harder, and lost more than most of us could ever imagine. But now, at 76 years old, the world is finally starting to learn the truth about what's really happening behind the curtain, and why this might be the final chapter in the life of one of music's greatest icons. What you're about to hear may leave you in tears. For years, fans have noticed the decline, the canceled tours, the weakened fame, the slurred interviews. But the media glossed over it. The family kept things private. And Ozzy, he smiled through the pain, because that's what rock stars do. But now, the truth is no longer hidden. It started with a fall. Then came Parkinson's. But what happened next, few were prepared for. In 2019, Ozzy suffered a catastrophic fall in his Los Angeles home. At the time, he called it a minor injury, but insiders now say it was anything but. He fractured his spine, aggravated old neck injuries, and required emergency surgery. It was like watching a giant crumble, said one roadie, who had been with him since the 80s. The man who had once leapt off stages now struggled to stand without help. Then came the confirmation: Parkinson's disease, a degenerative neurological condition that affects movement, speech, and even memory. The diagnosis was kept under wraps for months. "I didn't want the fans to think I was dying," Ozzy later admitted. But inside, he was already feeling it. His hands trembled, his speech slowed, his world was changing, and not in a way he could control. But here's the part no one talks about. Ozzy didn't just have Parkinson's. He had multiple surgeries, recurring infections, and a cocktail of medications that left him in a constant state of confusion and pain. Sharon once described his condition as like watching the man I love disappear one day at a time. Fans only saw glimpses of it, the limping, the glassy eyes. But backstage, it was heartbreaking. So what was Ozzy doing during all this time? Fighting, like he always had. Fighting to stay strong for his family. Fighting to keep performing. Fighting to stay relevant in a world that had moved on from CDs and leather jackets. He tried to record. He tried to rehearse. But the toll was too great. Every tour got delayed. Every album took longer. And eventually, even the fans started to wonder. Friends and former bandmates began showing up quietly at his home. Not to collaborate, but to say goodbye. Zakk Wylde, Tony Iommi, even former rivals came to pay their respects while Ozzy could still understand their words. "We're watching a god fade," one said. And no one's ready, but Ozzy never asked for pity. Even in his pain, he cracked jokes. In a now deleted Instagram post, he laughed about needing bionic parts and joked, "Maybe I'll come back as a hologram like Tupac." But those around him knew the laughter was just a mask. Behind it was fear, regret, and the weight of a life lived at full throttle finally catching up. Let's take a moment to remember what Ozzy gave us. Black Sabbath, War Pigs, Iron Man, Paranoid. Then solo, Crazy Train, No More Tears, Mama, I'm Coming Home. He didn't just make music, he made moments. He gave outsiders a voice. He gave metal a soul, and he gave his demons a soundtrack. Ozzy's family has remained by his side through every moment. Sharon, who once threatened to leave him during his worst addictions, now rarely leaves his bedside. Kelly and Jack, his children, have been taking turns managing his appointments, feeding him, and in the quiet hours, just sitting with him. "He forgets sometimes where he is," Jack once said, "but he always remembers the music." Insiders say Ozzy now sleeps most of the day. When he's awake, he listens to his old vinyls. He stares at old photos. And sometimes, in the rare moments when his voice is clear, he sings softly to himself. One of the last songs he sang aloud, reportedly, was Dreamer. The lyric, "I'm just a dreamer, I dream my life away. I'm just a dreamer who dreams of better days." He's made peace with many things. His past addictions, his public mistakes, his moments of rage and collapse. He's spoken with priests. He's apologized to old friends. Sharon has said, in private, that Ozzy is ready to rest. She says it not with sadness, but with love. Because when you've spent your life giving everything to the world, sometimes the bravest thing is to say goodbye. The music industry is already preparing tribute. A secret Ozzy legacy project is reportedly in the works, involving Metallica, Foo Fighters, and even Elton John. Plans for a posthumous concert film, hologram tour, and unreleased vault material are being discussed quietly. But no one wants to rush, because as long as Ozzy breathes, there's still hope. Even if it's just for one more sunrise, one more guitar riff, one more memory. And fans, we owe him more than applause. We owe him respect. We owe him silence in the noise. We owe him a legacy not defined by tabloids or reality TV, but by the music, the madness, and the man who somehow survived it all. If this is Ozzy's last year, let us honor it, not with tears, but with tributes, not with rumors, but with reverence, because what he gave us can never be duplicated, never replaced, never forgotten. So tonight, play his music, turn it up loud, let your soul scream with it, whether you're 16 or 60. If Ozzy's voice ever got you through something, this is the time to remember him. Ozzy Osbourne, the man, the myth, the music, and now, the memory. We love you, Ozzy. And no matter what happens, you'll never walk alone.